Welcome back to Creepy Kitty Creations. It's really common for a lot of creatives to suffer from low self-esteem or imposter syndrome, so I thought instead of letting that get to me this year, I thought I would make myself a self-confident sunflower poppet. Because I love cute and cuddly things as well, and sunflowers are my absolute favourite. I even have a tattoo of one. So I've been really looking forward to making myself a little sunflower plush. Let's get started. Before we get started, we're going to need a couple of things, so let's go to the crystal shop. I was a bit too self-conscious to talk while I record, so I'm doing this in voiceover. But this is my favourite crystal shop in Christchurch, Inspirations. I come here all the time. It's just so cool. I mean, they really have a little bit of everything. Got tarot cards, oracle cards, all sorts of crystals, Egyptian stuff, candles, geodes. Oh, it's just magical. I love it. So what we want to look for are some crystals that help with confidence. So I know that I want something like rose quartz for the heart, but I want it to be heart shaped. Looks like they don't have any of them down this particular aisle or over here, so I'll have to have another look. Maybe it's in one of the cabinets. I love these little Emma eggs. They feel like they're made for me because that's my name. Now I also need some citrine, but I want a good bit. Oh, what's this? Oh, rhodonite. That's perfect. They're not badly priced either. Since rhodonite is a love stone, it's great for self-love. It helps people achieve their greatest potential and dispels anxiety. So that sounds perfect for this poppet. It's just about finding the right piece. It's a nice wee piece, but I kind of want something a little bit bigger. I get a lot of anxiety, so it really needs to be a relatively big... Ooh, that's a perfect piece. Yeah, let's go with this one. This is perfect. And amethyst is one of the ultimate anti-anxiety stones, so I definitely want one of these. I've never seen them as a wee orb though. This is so pretty. Another good stone I got told about was carnelian, and this one's combined with quartz. So carnelian is a powerful stone of action. It is a self-motivator, but it also protects us from fear, envy, rage, and other destructive emotions. So it should be perfect for a self-confidence poppet. Now for the heart. For this poppet, I really wanted a big heart-shaped rose quartz, because I mean, when it comes to self-love and confidence, you can't go wrong with rose quartz. Righty-ho, time to get started on the actual doll. I'll do a haul with all the crystals so you can see everything that I bought. So I've got all these lovely velvets to use, so I've cut them out off camera, a pattern that I drafted. And we're going to make the body in two parts because I want a zipper at the back so that I can access the bigger crystals if I need to cleanse them. So the back is going to be in two pieces. So this is the chunk of citrine that I already had at home, and it's quite big. So the opening in the back for the zip needs to be pretty decent. So I'm just going to mark those off so they'll fit together like this. So I'm just going to stitch that on my sewing machine, making sure to leave that gap for the zipper. And I will just add that this green fabric looks really slippery, and it is the actual devil to sew. I love the feel of it. It's great fabric, but sewing it is not pleasant. But it does look so nice. Look at his little body. He's going to be so cute when it's all stuffed with fluff. But yeah, real pain to sew, and it keeps sort of rolling in on itself. Right, time to break out the quilt batting, which I'm going to cut up and put in with the leaves so that the leaves aren't... I mean, they're going to be really flimsy if I don't put anything inside them. So I decided to go with some thicker quilt batting, and I'm just going to fold all the edges over and hand stitch it, slip stitch it that way, rather than sew it by machine. That would be an absolute nightmare. So I'm just using normal thread and slip stitching around the edges, which is sort of making it look textured along the edge, which I don't actually mind. It looks like a real leaf. Now I'm going to mark out where I want to do the embroidery. And for this I'm just using your standard stem stitch with some really nice, it's almost metallic glossy thread. It's beautiful, I love it so much. So you just leave the wee loop there and then you come back under and pick up where your last stitch was, pull it through like this and it will go flat. It looks a bit different on the wrong side, but when it looks pretty on the right side, that's the main thing. So you just put your stitch through where you want it to go. The smaller, the lesser distance you do, the neater your stitches will look. And then you just put that loop aside and come back up under. And this is how you do a stem stitch. I actually find embroidery quite relaxing. I want to be doing some more of it in future projects. I find it makes you just slow down because you need to, if you do it too fast, your thread's going to get tangled. It sort of forces you and your brain to slow down, take things a bit slower, deeper breaths. So I find it quite relaxing and calming, especially when I've got anxiety. It helps sort of bring you down a bit. It stops the racing thoughts, which can often lead, for me, to self-doubt and get, like, you know, that negative voice in your head telling you you're not good enough. It helps just put that aside, lock it in a box in your head so you focus on what you're doing in the moment. So I've definitely want to be doing more of this in the future. I've already got a project set aside where the entire skirt's going to be hand embroidered. It'll be so much fun. Generally, you're not supposed to do a knot with embroidery, but it just feels more secure to me, so I actually do. Now I just need to do each of these little offshoot stems on the leaf. And this is what it looks like when it's done. I've still got a few more to do, but it will just look exactly the same as this. So this is the right side, and I'm so happy with how it came out. I'm glad I went with the lighter green, otherwise I think it might have just blended in a wee bit too much. And it's still quite flimsy, but it's got more oomph to it than if I hadn't put any quilt baiting in it, so that's good. Now for the petals, which I'm also going to be using quilt batting, but I'm doing it a bit thicker than the leaves because I don't want them to be too floppy. So I'm just going to pin that on and cut them out, and I'll do that for all of the petals, which will take a million years. Okay, that's all of them done. So now I need to stitch them, and I'm doing that with the sewing machine, and it looks like I've got the wrong sides together, but once I flip this inside out, this way the quilt batting will be on the inside. So it looks wrong, but it flips out the right way, trust me. Then you just flip them like this. And just use the end of a pen, or in this case I'm using the end of my tweezers to push the point of the petal out. And we have our finished petals. So these are going to go all around. I've cut out the head. The front is in brown velvet and the back is in green velvet. So I'm just going to pin these to the brown velvet first, because technically, if you have these so that the petals are facing inwards, it means that I can put the green fabric on top. Here we go. So these are all pinned to the brown fabric. So if I have them all facing the inside like this, then I can just put the green fabric on top, stitch all the way around the head, leaving a little gap, and then when I turn it inside out, all of the petals should just pop straight out. And this was extremely difficult, especially with the green fabric wanting to roll all over the place, and I just kept worrying that I was going to stitch the petals in the wrong place. So rather than doing this on the sewing machine, I did this by hand. So now we've got this little disc with the petals on the inside. So once we flip this right way out, all the petals should be where they should be, and hopefully none of them have gotten snagged. Oh yay, they did! They stayed in the right places. Oh, thank goodness. I was worried I was going to have to do it all over again. So I got these gigantic teddy bear eyes, so now I can see how they're going to look. And they're going to look so cute. Though I noticed one of the petals didn't quite catch with the sewing machine, so I'm going to just quickly fix that by hand with my trusty little familiar here. How you doing, Gracie? Time for the part I've been looking forward to the most. Hey, what are you doing? Go. She wants to help place the eyes. So for that I've pinned where I want the eyes to be. Now I'm using an awl to poke a big hole in the fabric so that the stem of the teddy bear eyes can poke through. Like this. It took a little bit of doing because the stems are actually quite fat. So we just want to poke them right through, push the fabric all the way down, and then get the back and just click it on and push it hard so it's completely flat against the eye. And then you have a teddy bear eyeball. Which is going to look so cute, especially once I put the little blush on her cheeks. And she has a face. He's just so cute. I'm so happy with how that came out. So now let's stuff it full of fluff, which takes a deceptive amount, but look how cute she looks. The petals are still flopping over a wee bit, so I think I might top stitch around the head to get them sitting flatter, and then I'm going to stitch them together. So I just did that by hand all the way around here. I don't think it's too visible, and now I'm just going to stitch all the petals together. But first I need to make a pocket in the back so that there is a way to get the crystals out. So I'm just using some random bit of brown sort of satiny fabric, and I'm just stitching around the pocket. Like so. Then we're going to turn it inside out, or right way in. And I'm going to pin it all around the edge of the opening that we left in the back. And again, I'm just going to do all this by hand because it's too small and fiddly. Look, she's already basking in the sunlight. So now that we're getting really close to putting all the crystals in, I'm going to just use this Palo Santo stick, which I get from the same crystal shop, and they source it from ethically from Peru. And I'm just going to light that, and I'm going to cleanse them with the smoke. Just because when you get crystals from a crystal shop, a lot of people have handled them, so you really want to cleanse them first before you use them. So I'm just doing that for each individual stone. So this is the rhodonite I got. The one that I did before is the lovely piece of rose quartz I found for her heart. We've got the little amethyst ball and the piece of carnelian and quartz. If you have any crystal bracelets or things like that as well, you can use this method to cleanse them, or you can leave them out in the moonlight, put them in salt. There's a variety of ways you can cleanse your crystals depending on what ones they are. I also got all of these little shards of dragon bloodstone, and I figured out way too late that the easiest way to do the Paleo Santo is to actually light a candle like this, so you can just keep lighting it instead of wasting a lot of matches. Then we can put them inside the body. I really want to be able to access these because some of them weren't cheap. And just add some stuffing so that they're not too hard when you hug it. So now I've got these little crystals here, which are the same as my Poppet, the Mandrake Poppet video. So I'm going to make the spell jar to go inside. So I'm going to use a bit of cinnamon. So this is a spell jar for self-confidence and self-love. So we're going to put in a lot of cinnamon and some peppercorns. Peppercorns, when used with positive intent, they can heighten the effectiveness of your spell. And some Himalayan salt for protection. And I can't have a sunflower poppet without some sunflower seeds, which are for joy and positivity. I'm going to put in some similar crystals to what's in the back of my sunflower. So I'll be using citrine, amethyst, clear quartz, and some pieces of, I believe it's either obsidian or black tourmaline, which are also great for protection and blocking out negativity. They look all pretty and colourful in there. I also love the smell of lemon. I find it very calming, so I'm going to just peel part of a lemon skin and put those in there as well. Lemon also has solar energy, which fits the sunflower, but it also banishes negativity, and it is said to be very good for creativity because of that great solar energy. I'm going to put some lavender in there as well for easing anxiety, which should also help with confidence. I'm also adding some of that dragon bloodstone, which enhances creativity. It's a grounding stone, so it helps focus. It's a powerful motivator, and it helps you overcome fears, procrastination, and emotional obstacles. So that will be my self-confidence spell jar. I also love the smell of lemon. I find it very relaxing, so I'm going to use one of these little tea pouches to put some peelings of lemon in there so that my puppet will smell nice and lemony. Which means it's finally time to stuff the puppet and put in all of the spell jar, its heart. Like with all of my puppets, I'm sprinkling sage and basil throughout the stuffing so that its blood is protective. And pop in a stick of cinnamon for protection. It boosts the overall spell, and it smells delicious. Then the bag of lemon. Some more stuffing. And I've written the purpose for the poppet on a piece of paper, helping to bring it to life to do its job. So I'm going to roll that up, tie it with a pink ribbon. Pink is generally the colour again for love or self-love. So we're going to whisper its job to it through the neck rather than its mouth. Never whisper it into the mouth because that will make it too much alive. So we're going to put this right in with its heart and the spell jar. I'll put a little bit more stuffing in and some sage and then put in its heart so that the heart has a bit more cushioning. And just warm that up a wee bit. And that is the body all done. The heart of our poppet. So now we just need to put in just a little bit more lavender. And then we can attach everything. We'll put the head on the body first. And then I can add its leaf arms. And its little legs. Which I will do off camera because I know it's going to be fiddly. Ooh. There we go, all done. And she looks so cute. I'm so happy with how her leaf arms came out. She just looks like she wants to give you a really big hug. But she's still missing a little something. So time to break out the blusher. And I'm going to do this in more of a light pink than a red because the brown velvet is quite dark and I want it to show up. Let's see, is that about right? I think so. And we're done. What do you think? I'm so happy with how she came out and she looks so cute in her flower pot. Since I spend a lot of time at my desk, I've got her sitting up by my computer, ready to give off her happy confidence vibes and just fill every day with positivity and creativity. I hope you enjoyed this little video. It was supposed to come out after Enid, but because I caught COVID, I had to change the schedule a little bit. I've still got a few finishing touches to do. So that will be the next video up, and I will see you next time. Bye!